following video contains spoilers. The events described have already happened in their appropriate timeline. However, sharing knowledge of the future can cause changes to the timeline, and as such, the events described are, as of now, in flux.
Alright. As fans of this channel may have found out recently, I am dabbling in the art of time travel. And I figured, why not use this for personal gain? So I went ahead and saw an advanced screening of this weekend's WWE events, TakeOver New Orleans and WrestleMania, in case timeline's off, so it might be a little bit confusing. Anyway, here's my review of these, fantastic wrestling shows, let's be honest. TakeOver New Orleans started with a bang. We had Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano. And what a way to kick off this wrestling weekend. Best match of the weekend? Potentially? Hard to say. Ciampa won in one of the most heartbreaking finishes of all time. He had his submission locked in tight. You had Johnny Gargano. You had his wife in the front row. Johnny was reaching out to her, and he taps out. What a match, and what a way to end Johnny Gargano's NXT run. He's probably going to be in the Battle Royal. He's probably being called up instantly, if not Raw after Mania, definitely. Then we continue with the 5-way ladder match. Adam Cole, Ricochet, EC3, Lars Sullivan, Killian Dane, and the Velveteen Dream. What a match this was. Ladders, bodies, everywhere. Now, I never really followed Ricochet on the indies, and I never really followed EC3 because TNA is a piece of it's bad. It's bad. TNA's bad. But this match, this was amazing, and those two particularly blew me away. That moment where it looks like Dream's about to win, he's up on top of the ladder, no one else is inside, and then Ricochet comes out of nowhere and just knocks Dream down. And I'm sitting there thinking, who's going to win? Who has it? Everyone's out. Because Ricochet just took himself out with that fall. And then EC3, slowly but smugly, climbs the ladder and wins, acting like this is his birthright. What a way to debut. And what a way to lead into a Velveteen Dream Ricochet feud. This is going to be phenomenal. Moving on quickly, because, I'm not really supposed to be recording this video right now. Travis Colt doesn't know that I'm in his house right now. So, moving on, we have the tag team match with the Undisputed Era versus AOP versus Strong and Dunn in a triple threat match to determine the tag team champions and the official winners of the Dusty Classic. And I gotta say, I did not see AOP winning this thing 2 years in a row. But as good of a match as this was, the aftermath is where the story is, because we got AOP standing in the ring looking like no one could touch them. And then War Machine debuted. And that stare down gave me chills. I just don't know what to say to that, honestly. I'm looking forward to just giant slabs of meat running into each other. We had the women's championship match, Ember Moon versus Shayna Baszler, and Baszler won by TKO. Pretty effective. Like, their first match, Ember Moon wins by being a wrestler. She countered the armbar into a way that Baszler wasn't expecting. This time, Baszler wins by being a fighter. It makes sense. And, they could go on to do match number 3, wrestler versus fighter, see who's better. Or maybe this is the end of Ember Moon's time on NXT. We'll have to wait till Mania to see it. But I digress. Main event time. Almas versus Aleister Black. Gotta say, not the biggest Aleister Black fan personally. I mean, he's a good wrestler, but not the biggest fan of him. Almas, never used to like him, but since recently I've liked both. I've liked Almas a lot more. And this match, it wasn't as good as Johnny Gargano versus Almas. It was still fantastic. And Aleister Black won, which shocked me because I figured they'd keep the Almas train running. But again, just like in the tag title match, the real story came after this match when we had the Undisputed Era, who had the shit kicked out of them all show, basically. I mean, Cole lost the ladder match. Fish and O'Reilly lost the tag team titles. But they stormed the ring, attacked Aleister Black, and we ended with Adam Cole holding the NXT title basically hostage. This is a great turn of events and a fantastic way to go forward with whatever storyline they're going to do next. Obviously, Cole is in the world title picture now. I don't know where this leaves Almas, but I'm really excited to see where we go from here. All in all, a fantastic show. And what a way to kick off this WrestleMania weekend. Moving on to WrestleMania itself, we kicked off the pre-show with the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which, I mean, it was a Battle Royal. This stuff always happens the same way. It's just a bunch of guys throwing each other a lot. Notably, Bray wasn't in the Battle Royal, but he appeared to cost Matt. He appeared in the ring, kinda. You know, lights went out for a second. Bray Wyatt shows up. Him and Matt Hardy punch. They're both out of the ring. Mark Henry was in this, and it was pretty frickin' awesome. Just throwing dudes until the Revival team up, throw him out. The Revival really stole the show here. They did what they said. They were trying to win as the first tag team. And so it comes down to Revival, Dolph Ziggler, and Ty Dillinger. Ty Dillinger and Dolph Ziggler team up, eliminate the Revival. Dolph Ziggler turns on Ty. Dolph Ziggler wins the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Congratulations, Dolph. Sorry to say you're probably going to continue in the long line of people who have won this match and gone on to do nothing. But we all know about Dolph Ziggler's fat contract, and it seems like he's happy doing nothing right now. So, good for him. We continued the pre-show with Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali, and I mean, it was a great match. There wasn't a lot of twists and turns. I didn't really know who I was pulling for. I like both of these guys a lot. Cedric won, which I thought was really appropriate considering his match in the Cruiserweight Classic ended with "Please sign Cedric" chants, and now he's brought it full circle. So, good job, Cedric. I hope that this brings the Cruiserweight division to new heights. The main event of the pre-show was the Women's Battle Royal, which I think this should have gone on the main show, to be honest, if they're really trying to spearhead this women's evolution or revolution or something illusion. It just would have been nice. Maybe they could have kicked off the main show, but I digress. WrestleMania pre-show. Bayley and Sasha eliminated each other about halfway through, which I kind of expected going into it, to be honest. I mean, that frees them up to have a big match later on where they could shine more on a less crowded card. And Ember Moon made her main roster debut in this match, and she actually won, which is fantastic going forward. Because, you know, her time in NXT is capped. She has... Hopefully they do something. Hopefully this doesn't have the same legacy as the Andre Battle Royal, and Ember Moon gets a really strong push, because I would I would love to see her in a title match at next year's WrestleMania, for reasons that I will get into later on down the card. We kicked off the main show with Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Questionable first match because Daniel Bryan is the biggest star that you guys have, so I mean, maybe he should have been higher on the card, but I get it. Pumps the crowd up after the pre-show, which not a lot of people are always going to be interested in. Pumps the crowd up. Huge win for Bryan and Shane. Obviously, I think Shane got a little bit too much offense in, but it's Shane McMahon. What are you going to do? Daniel Bryan steals the show, though. And Kevin Owens and Zayn are probably going to go to Raw after this. Probably ally with Triple H again. Triple H and Stephanie bring that old storyline full circle. Our next match was Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax. In a really good match, but Nia won. Obviously. I mean, look, Bliss is great. I'm not saying that she wasn't a great champion, but the storyline necessitated Nia Jax winning. This storyline, it had to happen that way. But then we got the shocking cash-in of Carmella from SmackDown cashing in her women's Money in the Bank, which WrestleMania is a great place to do it. A huge swerve doing it for the Raw belt, even though some people were predicting it at this point because she's not going to beat Asuka or Charlotte for it. But I liked it here because this doesn't leave that hanging over the Asuka-Charlotte match later on. That match will stay focused on what it is. We had the U.S. title match next, and all I have to say is happy Rusev Day. They finally did something with the Bulgarian Superman, and he shined and he won. And we had the greatest ceremony when Aiden English sang his praises before and after the match. So well done. Good match overall. Moving on to Cesaro and Sheamus, The Bar, versus Braun and a mystery tag team partner. I'm so sad it wasn't Kurt Hawkins. It's just so heartbroken. That would have been a fantastic development for that character. But instead we had a returning Big Cass. Interesting choice. Pretty unexpected. Almost out of left field. Strowman and Cass won, obviously. New tag team champions. And you know what? It'll probably be a pretty good feud. Cass is a giant, but he is a beatable giant. So Cass can take the fall, lead to Cass versus Strowman later on. It works. Gives them both something to do for a while. Charlotte Flair versus Asuka was next. And this match blew me away. Two of the best women wrestlers in the world today. So proficient in submissions, both of these women. Asuka's strikes, though. I mean, chops versus strikes in the middle of the match was fantastic. Just firing off chop. Huge forearm. Chop, forearm, chop, forearm, chop. Kick to the head. Charlotte's down. The match goes on and on. Battle of attrition at this point. Asuka wins. Obviously. The big takeaway from this is now Ember Moon's debuted on the main roster. The only person to nearly beat Asuka in NXT, or the person to come closest to beating Asuka in NXT, is on the main roster, and she won the Women's Battle Royal. Asuka is now the Women's Champion. I hope that Asuka retains until Mania, and Ember Moon finally breaks Asuka's streak at WrestleMania, bringing Ember Moon's storyline full circle. We had The Miz versus Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. Most notable thing in this is we didn't see a WrestleMania Demon, and that was kind of dumb on Finn's part, to be honest. He should know by now, if he paints up, he wins, and if he doesn't, he loses. Seth Rollins wins. What a great Intercontinental Champion he's going to be. Miz was fantastic, but it was time to take the belt off of him. We had the Usos versus the New Day versus the Bludgeon Brothers next. We had Kofi and Woods for the New Day, which I thought was a great choice because, I mean, they're the smaller guys. They made the Bludgeon Brothers look that much stronger and meaner. And you can have, Big E in the next time they get a title shot, take on the Bludgeon Brothers and try to match power versus power. Bludgeon Brothers won. I kind of spoiled that. So now we have 3/4 of the Wyatt family with tag team titles. Sorry, Bray, I guess. Do better. Cena versus Taker was up next, and we didn't know this match was going to happen. We got Biker Taker come out to a live performance by Kid Rock, which was pretty cool. I mean, Kid Rock should have stayed in the 90s, but it was nice to see for nostalgia's sake. This match was better than Taker vs. Roman just because Cena is a better wrestler. But Cena won, LOL, that whole thing. But no, I think this is a good thing moving forward because this allows Cena to be the WrestleMania feature benchmark wrestler. He's not undefeated at Mania, so he's beatable, but you can always build a big match with him for WrestleMania season to hopefully elevate someone else. We had an interlude with Elias coming out for a concert at WrestleMania. WrestleMania with Elias, as it were. Jeff Jarrett came out, and they performed a duet. This was Elias's biggest show ever promise, only for it to be interrupted by The Rock of all people. And this was fantastic. The Rock is hilarious as always. I was worried that The Rock was just going to come out and bury another superstar like he did to Eric Rowan a couple years back. But Jeff Jarrett swung his guitar for The Rock's head after he got tired of The Rock insulting him. Rock ducks. Jarrett hits Elias. Rock hits Jarrett with rock bottom. Raises the arm, raises the eyebrow, leaves to a big ovation. And then Elias and Jarrett are kind of getting up and recouping in the ring, holding each other for support. And Elias grabs Jarrett and hits the drift away. So Elias still looks strong in the end of this segment, which I thought was a great placement on the Mania card for Elias and a great out for The Rock being able to look cool without making Elias look like a total idiot. Styles versus Nakamura. If Gargano Ciampa wasn't the match of the weekend, Styles Nakamura was. But this match was never going to be anything else. Nakamura won. That's what I wanted. I wouldn't be unhappy if AJ won, but Nakamura needed it more. And there's not much to say about this match. I know I'm giving this review a couple days before for you guys, but I don't want to ruin this match for you guys. This match was fantastic. Just watch it. Knowing the outcome does not make this match any less enjoyable. Trust me on that. Kurt Angle versus Ronda Rousey, or Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. I don't think it should have gone here. I wish that Nakamura Styles was the main event instead of third from the last match. But whatever, Ronda's the big A-list outside star, the big attraction that they're bringing in. So it was pretty obvious it was going to go here as the cool-down match. Triple H and Kurt Angle had a pretty decent back and forth, really reminiscent of old times. Stephanie tried her best to stay out of the match, tags in a couple times, tags right back out. It wasn't until... what was it exactly? I can't quite remember. I wasn't paying too much attention. This match was kind of burnt out at this point. I believe Triple H kind of staggered to his corner and was checking on Steph. Steph gives him a pat on the back. And that's when they both realized, oh, that counted as a tag. Steph gets in, and before she has time to tag out, Ronda is there, drags her to the middle of the ring, locks in the armbar. Triple H tries to get in. Angle intercepts, locks in the ankle lock. You get both Triple H and Steph tapping out at Mania. Let's just see more of this. Let's see more of this regime looking weak. They need to look strong sometimes, but they also need to get the receipt more often, and I hope this is a sign of things to come. That leads to our main event, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. I did not like this match. Brock Lesnar was Brock Lesnar. Suplex City, couple strong punches. Roman Reigns, Superman punch, couple impressive power spots by both of them. Roman Reigns won, and that's no big surprise turn by Paul Heyman like people thought. Just Roman Reigns wins. We knew this was going to happen. We knew that's where this was going. We knew this since last year. We basically knew this since Roman failed to beat Brock Lesnar a couple years ago. Reigns is the Universal Champion. At least we will get a champion who shows up. At least we will get a champion who defends it regularly. But WrestleMania ends on a sour note once again. And that's unfortunate. Overall, I think it was a great Mania. I think it was a fantastic show. I just wish that it ended in a better way. But that's it. That's all I got for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoy WrestleMania. And as always, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Ring the notification bell so you can know when these reviews from the future are coming, because you'll want to know these results beforehand, I think. Inside scoop here. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next. And what's the other thing? Fuck Midas.